What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Devy Royale YouTube channel. I am your host, as always, Kevin Coleman at TheBoys_22. And today, back on the channel, we are going to do another film study. So, what we like to do on the channel is we looked at some freshman profiles all week, and then we're going to go dive into one of these prospects. And I try to keep it with the film study at the 23 class, so you can see maybe who's going to come out next year for fantasy and what we're going to do. So, let's look at Cameron Ward film study. And you know what? Cameron is one of those guys that I've been on. Everybody knows I really like this kid from a prospect and from an upside shot prospect, especially early on in the season. Last year, his ADP got way too high for me. After we started talking about it a little bit more. But before, in February, March, and April, you were getting him really, really late. And I thought he has very good upside, especially in C2C. But what we're going to look at is a little bit of a film study for him. Now, Washington State came within literally 2 minutes of an upset win against Oregon, and they would have been 4-0. They are 3-1 on the season, though, and they've looked a lot better than they have in the past. So we have to give a shout out to Cam Ward for that. I mean, he has been their offense. When you're looking at what Cam Ward's been able to do, he has been there. So let's dive into kind of the numbers real quick. So just in college stats, obviously he didn't play at the Division I level in the first 2 years, but those are his stats from there. And in this year right now, he's 104, 151, 68% completion percentage. That's something you like to see. You've seen an improvement. And 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So from just the numbers, okay, he looks like he has improved. Now, I will say I will caution numbers, okay? So one of the things that we're going to talk about with weaknesses is with him is his deep ball accuracy. He's definitely struggled there. His ADOT right now, his average depth of target that he's throwing is just at 5.4 according to PFF. That's not great. So literally, when you're looking at basically his average depth of target right now is 5 yards. That's part of their offense. We're going to look at that on the film. But that's not something that is sustainable if you want him to be an NFL prospect. I think he's a very, very solid college prospect. So now we're saying, okay, how does he take that next step? That's what we're going to look at with Cam. And you notice, I mean, he's literally he has very good grades on his PFF stats. I will say that his completion percentage against Oregon was 74%, I believe, is what PFF graded him out at. And you're just looking at what he was able to do in that game. They should have won. They lost 44-41. And that's a tape we're going to watch. Now, just in general, like we're going to go through some of his strengths, some of his weaknesses that he's got. So strengths, first, athleticism. That's going to be on full display. You're going to see that when we watch the tape. He's an athletic kid. He's a dual threat kid. He's a kid that can definitely take that next step. I love watching him play football. He can extend plays. He's got good functional awareness in the pocket. He's got good functional athleticism. He's got all the boxes checked there. Quick release. He has that quick release. You like to see what he's able to do. He gets the ball quick. He gets the ball at different angles as well. So when you watch him, and I've watched pretty much every single game tape of Cameron Ward, and I watched pretty much all of his FCS tape I could find. His release is something that is special. And when you watch him, he can also manipulate his arm. He can manipulate his angles. He can do a lot of things that you're like, wow, that kid can really, really take that next step. And then playmaking goes along with that. He's a playmaker. He had one of these plays that we're going to watch in the film today that you're like, wow, damn, that's playmaking. So these are his three strengths. Absolutely. Athleticism, quick release, and playmaking. And he's improving his arm. Like that's one area that I like to see. That's why I showed you those numbers. You see the progression going on. So he is improving. And everybody knew that he wasn't going to come in just be a superstar. He already kind of has, from the numbers perspective, been very well. But okay, let's see that development, that improvement, that jump from FCS to Division I. What could that look like? And he's checked those boxes. Now, if we're going to pinpoint any of the weaknesses or where we're looking at decision making, I don't think he's been terrible. I do think that he's taken a little bit of risk. We're going to look at that. We're going to watch a really bad interception that he threw at the end of the Oregon game. But I think that sometimes he tries to make things happen when they're not there because he has so much pressure on him as a quarterback in this offense to make plays that sometimes that can trickle down into his decision-making ability. So when you're looking at that from that perspective, that can be a tough one. So decision-making. Next one, deep ball accuracy. So one thing that we've seen is that he really struggles mid to late in the field. So when you're looking at that deep ball accuracy issues, that's number one. So the deep ball accuracy is there. That's an issue that he has as he throws the ball, as he throws it deep, those type of things. And inconsistency, I think from throws. So you'll see like on the drives that we watch, you're going to go through it. There are some drives that, hey, he actually does do very well. So you're walking at him, he passes very well. He looks good. He's making the right reads. And in the next drive, okay, he misses a read. He misses a throw. He misses a deep throw. He misses a mid-range throw. Like there's things that you're watching from him and you're like, hey, put those drives together. He does that on consecutive drives in that first half. In the second half against Oregon, I thought he played okay, but there was drives that he missed guys and he missed reads and they missed it. And that could be play calling. That could be a lot of things. But overall, I think he does struggle with consistency at times, and that kind of comes with that deep ball accuracy and decision making. They're all kind of tied in together. When does he go deep? Where does he look for? What does his progression look like? And these are things that he's going to develop. So this isn't a negative thing. This is just things that he's going to have to develop to be a better passer. So that we're talking about him as being a legitimate Devy asset. Now we're going to take on the film and take a look and just go through it and just kind of talk about it. So again, you'll see it here. Release, gets it to gets it to his receiver on the outside. Again, short throw, had to go get it. Bell had to go get it there. Would like to see him get his feet set a little bit more so he can rush his mechanics a little bit more. He has done this very well. So I think that over the last 4 games, what I've seen improvement on him is taking the check down. Sometimes though, he takes the check down too much. So you'll notice that like throughout the game, if you watch the game, check down, check down, check down, check down. We would love to see some sprinkled in some deep shots there. That's probably the system, but he has improved, right? So he's making that decision, knows where he's going. Obviously, his average depth of target, his ADOT, is going to take a hit because of the way that they run their offense. So you'll see it here. This is a good shot. He takes it here. It was actually a pretty good throw. It was on the number, just missed him. The throws out to the backs and to the wide receivers and the quick outs and all that stuff, that's just part of the offense. And so you're going to see that ADOT kind of decline. There were times that he did flash his deep ball ability, but this is what excites you about Cam Ward, his ability to kind of go to the outside and his rushing upside. So when we're talking about rushing upside, that's what everybody loves in fantasy. We all love rushing upside in fantasy. That's the number one, right? We always talk about that. He has that rushing upside, and he's got size, 6'2", 220. He's not a small guy. So he's got the size. He has that ability. So he has the tools. He's just like when we think of like Anthony Richardson, these kids that have these tools that can come together as a passer. That is the key. I really like both him and Anthony because they excite me for fantasy. They're very good fantasy assets. Now, again, gets it to the numbers. He does have that arm strength to kind of get it to the numbers. So that's one thing you like to see. And that's what I was talking about there about manipulating arm angles. If you watch his throw right here, you'll see it. Like he's able to get it out quick. He has his release. He's able to throw it sidearm over a defender to his guy on the outside. Like, even though the ball was, wobbly, whatever the case may be, he's able to do that. Now, you'll notice here, quick toss here. He almost threw an interception. This is one that kind of come back to bite him later. We're going to talk about that. But this is where you get that ADOT. But they utilize his skills very well. So his former head coach at Encante Word is the offensive coordinator here at Washington State now. So they utilize those skills very well. You'll see that. Hey, get the ball out quick, get that release, and he gets to the outside. He knows where he's going. I thought he worked well on this one on his progressions. When you watch that, he does work very good through his progressions. Looks, doesn't see it. Okay, I'm going to get it out to my guy. He's going to get a 3 or 4 yard gain. I know down and distance. Give me 35 and let me work. And I think that is something that excites me about him as a prospect. Then here, able to get up. He works the pocket very well. He feels that pressure, able to extend the play, and I believe he got a first down there as he's going through it. Again, that's the good. Again, gets through the pocket, feels the pressure, playmaking, get it through. Then the decision making here. This was an intentional grounding that he got for his team. Like, just go up, get the yards, or try to get it to your receiver that was crossed over the middle. So that's just maturity. That's just something he's going to be able to improve on. And he already has. You've seen it through the first 4 games. Again, here, get into the outside shoulder. That's actually a really good throw. If you watch the replay of that, really good outside shoulder throw. And that's just what you're going to see with this Washington State offense. And it can be frustrating at times. So when you're watching it, it can be kind of frustrating at times when you're going through it because you're like, hey, why can't you get it there? There, he had him. Defender made a great play. Number 4 for Oregon was popping off on this tape all day. I need to find out who number 4 is. But again, knows where he's at. And this play is interesting. So I was watching this game live when this was going on. The coaching staff was talking to the corners as they were getting the play. They hike the ball as soon as the corner turns his head. You'll see it here. I don't know if that was just coincidence or if they had been picking up on that on the film or something was going on there. Soon as he picks his head up, Cam knows where he's going, gets it to the right read. Deshaun Stribling is a very good wide receiver. I have him in a lot of C2C leagues. He scores a touchdown. Like, that is interesting. Okay, they're picking up stuff on film, seeing it. Again, I would love to see – I like the read. So I like the read here from Cam. He's like, okay, I'm going to step up in the pocket, go here. Man, you have so much open space. I understand tossing here, but he had so much open space. Run. Use that athleticism and go. And so that's where I was talking about with the progressions. Like, where is it going to be? He does a very good job of those quick releases and everything that he has there. And those are the things that I like. And again, coming up here, this is his playmaking ability right here. So you're going to see it in a couple different angles. This is a fantastic play. This might be one of if they would have won this game, we would have been seeing this play all over Sports Center. If Sports Center is still around, I don't really watch Sports Center anymore, but you'll see it here. Able to go, just uses athleticism and kicks it out there. We've seen plays like this from Holmes, all of these guys, and you'll see it. You'll see it right here, a little bit of a better angle. Sees this guy, just flips it out there. That's just backyard football playing, and he does that, and that's awesome. That's exciting to see. But then again, misses a guy here. So this is where that consistency comes into play for me. Consistency. All right, where are we going? I thought their offense over the time got predictable, and Oregon was stepping on that. That is, again, not Cam's fault, but the offensive coaching staff. I thought it became kind of predictable. They really just rely on Cam. Hey, go make something happen. And this is what he does here. Able to kind of extend the play on 4th and 6, get it out to the receiver. And Kia Watson has had a really good year. You should keep an eye on that kid. But then you'll see this interception that he had. So down 3 with a minute to go. They had a chance to go down there and tie it. He makes a quick read, but they had been picking up on this read the whole game. And that was a call there. It was a great play by Oregon. And he knows he made a bad throw. And that's that maturity. That's that consistency. Unfortunately, that just was one of those throws that he wishes he could get back. He came back, had a good throw to the outside, drop ball, kind of tough catch right there for them. And then you'll find it here. He's down 10. I did have Oregon at -6.5, so he did rip my heart out here. But he did good. Hey, he said, we're not giving up. Going to make the read. And this is the throw that excites me. Look at this damn rope. Right on the money. Like, if we could see this more, if they allowed him to do this, if he got that more comfortable to do this, like, he could open up this offense. Look at this. He steps up in the pocket, sees where he needs to go, gets up, off his platform, gets it basically a 50-yard rope to the receiver to the 1-yard line, and then they go ahead and score on this. Like, that is what, when I watched his tape when he was at Incarnate Word, that popped off for me. I was like, man, this kid can play quarterback at the Division I level, and I think he can. When you're looking at his numbers, like we mentioned, hey, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. You'd like to see him get that interceptions down, but you like that completion percentage to be there. He is literally their entire offense. So that's where, like, you're like, all right, can he step up? And just looking at it, like, he had such, and this is where I go back to that ADOT, like an ADOT based on PFF at Incarnate Word in 2021, he was at 9 and 8. Now he's in that 5 to 6 range. So I think that number is going to go up as he gets more comfortable there. So I'm still on board with this kid. I think he comes back another year. So if you were thinking about where he's going in the big board that I do, I don't think he's going to be there. But he can 100%. Come back another year and develop again, and he could be that kid. And I think if you have him in C2C, you're happy because he is what you need to do. He's going to score points at the quarterback level. You got him probably at a pretty good value. You're going to have him for 2 years. That's great production. And then if he hits as an NFL quarterback or a Devy quarterback, that's all gravy, when you're talking about it. So we appreciate you guys listening. I love doing these film studies. I hope you do too. Please hit that like or subscribe button. We are definitely challenging ourselves to hit up the YouTube content more, and we're going to be there for you. Now, if you like this kind of content, we have a Patreon. We have 3 different tiers. I'm going to hit the outro for that in a minute. So we have our 3 different tiers for the Patreon: $1, $3, and $10. $3 basically gets you everything. $10 will give you a tier where we break down your teams on a video like this just for you. But $3, we get that. We have Patreon only podcasts. So we go into Jay Stein from Dynasty Nerds comes with me. We do analytical approaches, all of that. We have other special guests on the docket. So I have a couple more special guests coming up, and we will get them throughout the season. Team specific guests, all kinds of different stuff for you guys. The Discord, we have mock drafts. We have all this stuff. Only $3 a month. Please check us out. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Hit that like and subscribe button. Give us a comment. What do you think of Cam Ward? Appreciate you guys.